Well, today we have a special musical treat for you. We are going to talk with one of the bands that plays in our area, and they're called Endless Summer. And our special guests today are Gene Parson, John Simon, Bill Wolf, and Med Lewis. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Being in a band is glamorous and wonderful and exciting, and all the girls love you. John, tell us, how did Endless Summer come together?
It's very glamorous, Stephanie. We were just saying that this is the first time we've come in the front door of any of the places we've played. Actually, Endless Summer, we got together, we met in Charles City in one of the local bars, actually. I met Med originally. Shortly after that, I met Gene, and we started doing what we called, we used to have the Tuesday night jam, and we would get together in the bar, and we played bluegrass music. Billy came in, also Gene's brother Gary, who used to sing with us. We made it a weekly event of getting together in the bar and started, as I said, playing bluegrass. And then eventually that evolved into doing doo-wop songs, and somebody heard us there and asked us if we could possibly play for their class reunion, and that was in 1985. And that was the first job that we all did together as Endless Summer.
All right. And we do have to share there is another member to the band that just couldn't make it today.
Yes.
And he is your
Lester
drummer.
Shattuck, Shorty Shattuck, our drummer. I promised I would mention his name twice at least.
So. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, what kind of music are you playing today? And give us a sense of the type of venues that you guys perform at.
We found that it seems like the old doo-wop music is the most popular, whether it's the age group of the doo-woppers that are getting to the age now where they're out having more fun or whatever it is. We just think that we're able to get more jobs with that type of music. Although we do a certain amount of country. Billy and I played for several years together in a country group. Called,
seemed like forever.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the Country Blue Boys, and that band was in existence for, oh my goodness, 30 years, 30 plus years. And we've just kind of put all that music together and come up with what we feel is a very large repertoire of music. And but we do think that the doo-wop and the oldies are the ones that keep Endless Summer going, or keep us the busiest anyway. Mm-hmm.
Med and I used to join the Country Blue Boys. We would split sets with them when these guys were still playing together, and that's how we first started marketing the oldies rock and roll and the doo-wop numbers. The Country Blue Boys would play a set, and then Med and I would join these guys together, and we would do the rock and roll, and then they'd alternate sets, and that's really how we got started together as a band formally.
And it sounds like all of you have quite extensive musical careers for many years.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I started to play guitar when I was about 14, and then by the time I was 16, I was playing pretty regularly and getting paid for it.
So there's the key.
Yeah, that's the key. So, but my father was in the Air Force, so we lived all over the country, and when I started playing for money, we lived in near Peoria, Illinois, and so there was a lot of places a guy could go to play, and I joined the Musicians Union because if you could find a place that was going to do a benefit for something, the union would pay you. So we'd go around and say, tell people, hey, do something for a benefit to raise money for something, and we can play for free. Right. And so we got a lot of jobs that way.
All right, a good experience. All right. So what is the best part about being in a band? I mean, you guys, I've seen you perform, and it looks like you love it, and you have a ton of fun.
Oh yeah, the collaboration part of it and being able to harmonize vocally is probably the most fun, I think.
And these guys are my best friends. We're just close friends, and we do have a good time doing it. So, and evidently that shows.
Well, I know you didn't know this, Stephanie, but sometime in July it'll be our 25th year together. So we've been together a quarter of a century. We've outlasted a lot of other relationships, both within the band and without. But we're like family. I mean, we've watched each other's kids grow up, and the nice thing that Gene's talked about, I think the appeal for our music, we have a second generation because we have Gene's grandkids now, which is the third generation. His granddaughter got up and sang with us last 4th of July. Shorty's daughters have sang with us, excellent voices. Billy's got younger daughters yet, and we've yet to get them up on the stage, but we have another generation behind us, and possibly 2 generations that are still interested. And we're always surprised how many kids we can see out in the audience, small children that can sing along with us when we're singing music that was originally released probably 20, 30 years before they were ever born.
Yeah, kind of eternally popular. That was a
Yes.
great era of music.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about band life. I mean, how often do you guys have to get together and practice? You've been playing together for a long time, or do you simply pick up the instruments and head out to the job? And
Well, Endless Summer probably has practiced more in the last 2 to 3 years than we have in the previous 22. We have released 2 CDs, and that took a lot of studio time and practice. I have a studio in my home, in my basement, that we recorded out of and released the 2 CDs. In preparing to build those, created practice, and it was good for the band because we did practice. Before that, we might get together once every 6, 8 weeks, or whenever we felt the need, we wanted to learn a little new material, another song or something. But I suppose we average once every other week right now, getting together for a few hours a night.
And are you generally night birds, you guys? Because I know sometimes you play fairly late into the evening.
Well,
and
and I aren't.
pack up your stuff. I mean, how compatible is that with your other lives? Because you guys do other things too.
Yes, I'm a real estate broker. I work 7 days a week, and a lot of times I play 2 or 3 nights before. And John is the lucky one here. He's retired, but is back working part-time, doing a few things.
I think the original agreement that we had, which is interesting, when we started, we were originally a 7-piece band when we started back in '85. Gene's brother Gary sang with us, and then we had another member, Bruce Carr, who played keyboard and saxophone for us. And our original agreement was we would do 1 weekend a month. And that
didn't last long.
No, it didn't last long at all. That was if we did, like, if we had Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we would do that. But 1 weekend a month, and then it, I don't know, it got out of hand. And we're very fortunate. We've weathered an awful lot of changes in music appeal over the years. Billy, in fact, when he retired from us the first time, he started a DJ service called Rockabilly. And I don't know, how many years did you do that?
About 10 or 12 years. So, yeah.
And it did seem like music went that way for a while.
Yeah.
You know, bars and so on would go to DJs or weddings. They'd have DJs instead of bands, but it seems
Yeah.
almost like bands are making a comeback, live music.
Yeah, they are.
We were fortunate to weather that. I mean, that's one thing, if you could stick together through that. That's what happened. A lot of bands quit during that time. The money that Bill was making as an individual doing DJ work versus what we were making individually in a band, he was probably making tenfold of what we were making at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we fully understand why somebody would do that. But now there are there's less live music around. The other thing is, when you talk about bars, the venues that we've seen change over 25 years. Bar venues, ballroom venues are few and far between anymore.
So it's more private parties that you go and play for special events?
Special occasion. We stay very, very busy during the summer. So many communities are doing their
Outdoor venues.
party in the
Yeah.
parks or Friday night outs, whatever, and we do a lot of those. And it's,
They have a huge appeal, I think, now, especially with the economy, because people can just bring their lawn chair and bring their kids and a blanket and sit out in a park and, you know, maybe buy the kids a hot dog or buy them some cotton candy and sit and listen to music for 4 hours. That's it's a very fun night, and we have a great time at it. We love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only difficulty we have with it is over the 25 years. I think if you were to give us a category, we would be known as a dance band. That's our favorite thing to do, is play for dance venues. And it was very difficult for us to sit up on a stage and sing to people who are just sitting there watching us. So.
Well, Matt, you talk a little bit about that audience interaction, because people do respond. You know, even when they're sitting still, but especially when they're up and dancing and they're cheering and they're calling out requests. What's that like to be up on stage when you've got that interaction?
The interaction is what you crave, really. If it's a non-dancing crowd or if people aren't requesting music, it's really hard to maintain the enthusiasm of it, of playing. You know, but yeah, and we're lucky to have had that too. To have people that like the music and know our set list really and are asking for things.
Do you ever get stumped?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the time. Well, we don't get so much stumped that we don't know the song. It's just that we can't remember all the lyrics. We can usually remember the chorus or a verse maybe, but but as far as musically, we can probably play just about any song that comes around. But
I think the audience sort of revels in that, Stephanie, that
yeah.
They give us something. I don't think they get upset with us. I think they're proud of the fact that they've come up with something that we can't play or can't perform for them. We've had a lot of people talk and they joke with us and stuff. But we've had some very, very odd requests, and from among the 4 or 5 of us, we can usually come up with something.
Well, the fella at the rally in New Hampton is always the first one to speak up, and he knows he's going to stump us on the first request.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Well, it sounds like I know you have a great time playing together, and it certainly is evident. I've heard you guys play, but let's, for the benefit of our audience, give them a sample of your wares, if you would be so kind.
Sure.
Certainly.
We'd be proud.
All right. Hang on. Let's listen.
They say that breaking up is hard to do. Now I know that it's true. Don't say that this is the end. Instead of breaking up, I wish that we were making up again. I beg of you, don't say goodbye. Can't we give our love another try? Come on, baby, let's start anew. 'Cause breaking up is hard to do. Doobie-doo down, down. Come a down, doobie-doo down, down. Come a down, doobie-doo down, down. Breaking up is hard to do.
Here's little Amy. I can see why you think you belong to me. Never tried to let you think or let you see one thing for yourself. Now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. And I thought that I might keep you for my own. Amy, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, a little longer if I do. Don't you think time is right for us to find all those things we thought before just could be right in time? And can't you see which way we should turn together or alone? And I thought that I might keep you for my own. Don't take too long to see now. Amy, what you want to do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Now it's time for what you want, you had your way. All those things we thought before just faded into gray. And can't you see that I don't know if it's you or if it's me? If it's one of us, I'm sure we both will see. Won't you look at me and tell me, hey me, what you want to do? I think I could stay with you for a while and longer if I do, yeah. Amy, what you want to do? I think I could stay with you for a while and longer if I do.
The Heather Curling Club in Mapleton, Minnesota has been